person you want to help is located somewhere else entirely, far away from us and far away from you, can you still make a referral that can help them?
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are honored that for over 35 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing in real estate over 3,117 times, coming alongside you to build your fund, build your faith, build your fitness, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. It is a confusing thing. Mm-hmm. When you love somebody, you want to help them, you've figured out that you don't want to overstep, right? So that was segment A. Mm-hmm. And you figured out that you don't want to also give them no option, and because then they're probably going to end up in a worse situation if you didn't do the referral.
Yep.
And now they're far away from where you are and far away from where we are. So what are you to do? Can you still help?
Absolutely. And that's another thing. One other type of situation might be it's you and you want to move far away. Right. So you're moving to a new city, a new town, a new province. Recently we helped a client do that.
Yep.
They sold here, but they wanted to buy somewhere else. They were phoning around, talking to different realtors, and what really needed to happen was a proper interview of the real estate agent to make sure they knew what was important to our clients. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to let you take over the story because you called them, you took care of it. And not only did you just refer them and drop it, you walked them through all the way.
Right.
To the finish line.
And in this particular case, they'd actually been in the town where they thought they wanted to move to. They'd already connected and had an introduction from someone they knew casually in that community to a realtor. And when we were chatting about it, I said, are they familiar with the kind of property you're buying? How long have they been in the business? What are they like? What do they know? What don't they know? And all of that. And they unfortunately had no answers. They said she's a nice person. And
nice person's important.
And it's important. And you know our story, if you've been listening to Life's Inside Track for any of these last 15 years, you know that we sometimes, or one time, had a nice person, friendly, wonderful, delightful, help us in out of country to purchase. And it was reasonably disastrous because nice isn't enough. Friendly and kind is a great additional benefit, doesn't really replace experience. Mm-hmm. So they felt very comfortable with me. We've been actually having a talk about the house we sold for them for over 20 years, right? About, is this the time? Isn't this the time? And so I'd known them for decades. And so it was an easy conversation. And then I picked up the phone and I had a great chat with the person that they were thinking of working with. And turns out her experience was about a year. Mm-hmm. Her husband had been in the industry a handful of, maybe not even a handful of years, but a little bit longer, which was great. And yet when we were talking, because their situation was quite complex, but even if it hadn't been, we still want them to get the best counsel possible. It became clear based on some of her counsel that it wasn't quite what I would recommend. Mm-hmm. And so what we decided is she was lovely, she was delightful, she was very open to taking counsel from me. So we worked as a team, right? I stayed in the picture. I only asked the questions to get clarity and made sure the right clauses were in the contract. Nothing was missed that was essential. And it worked perfectly. They did end up buying the house that we thought. We did a FaceTime. I stayed on the FaceTime with them. We all sat here and actually in my home office and we worked through it. So it doesn't have to be conventional and not one size fits all. You probably heard me say that. I don't know how many times on these episodes. It's not one size fits all. What you need may be different and what your loved one needs may be different than any of the stories we share. That's why we say start with a
clarity call. And we've said it a few times, but it's so important that it's the easiest step to take It's just book a 15-minute call. We discover what's going on for you. We figure out the next step to take, whether that's meet in person, meet over Zoom, find out an introduction,
Never talk again.
Evaluate your property for you.
Or maybe not.
Maybe we don't need to work. There's nothing to be done. Maybe it's you need to make some steps on finances, whatever it is. It's quick, easy, professional, and free. It's free 99.
Right. And we know that, and you can research this all day, every day if you want. Buyers and sellers that get counsel, and especially an introduction if they don't know anybody, significantly decrease their stress, increase their confidence, and at the end of the day, make a much better decision.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like probably hundreds of sources. Like we search this and we get, this one was client experience studies, but they come from all over the place.
Yep. We're in January. Yeah. I'm thinking back to 2025.
Fourth week
of January. Is that crazy or what? I'm thinking back to 2025. There must have been 4 different people come to me and say, I have an aging parent. My parent's going to a home, or my parent has passed away, and they're in this town or this city, and I need help. And just because we know the legalities of that stuff, it makes it easier. And then we also know people in those towns. And if we don't, we're not just picking one, we're interviewing them to make sure they're the right person for your family. And then we're making that connection. And many of them have gone really well.
I think they've all gone well.
Yeah. I mean, some of them aren't complete.
Some of them are still in process.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So that's an option too. It's like, I wish I could give you all the scenarios. And I can't think of all the scenarios. So if you think of a scenario we haven't mentioned, you could be the one to book the clarity call just to tap into what are the different scenarios, or what about this one, or what about this one? Because I know this person, or I know that person. And can you help there? Can we refer them to you? Can we refer them to someone else that you know, or someone else that you're willing to interview on our behalf? The scenarios are endless, and know that when we don't have an answer, because we don't always have an answer, we're going to introduce you to the right person, even if it's someone in a different industry or someone in this industry that we believe has answers that we can't answer, right? Until you started doing a fair bit of commercial real estate, you even hired a realtor to help you with our commercial real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, not for the last 15 years, but prior to that, we certainly did. Because if we don't have expertise, we don't even want to get ourselves in trouble, never mind you in trouble.
Yeah, and many people now know that we purchased out of country in Mexico for our second home. And I've had people call me and say, how did that go? What do I need to know? Do you know somebody in Mexico I can work with? Because I'm thinking of doing the same thing. That's the kind of stuff we love. We just love it, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So we are saying to you, this is the end of show 731. Is that right?
That's right.
And we are still going to be here for many, many years. People keep asking me, when are you going to retire, you two? You're getting like up there. And my answer is 2059 or beyond. Yep, do the math. 2059 and beyond. So what are we excited about?
Well, thanks for joining us on Life's Inside Track, because when we move forward together, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the